Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Ruby Gill, and I feel honored to welcome you all on the behalf of lovely professional university. So, attendees, what do you think the sense of today's webinar? Well, I'm glad to share with much excitement that today our expert will deliver his expertise and make us learn about tips for intraday trading on stock market. I'm sure you are excited as I am for today's learning process. So kindly allow me to introduce our experts. Dr. Rajesh Verma, Professor and Dean, Mittal School of Business, Lovely Professional University. An intellectual personality who has excelled in areas of market orientation, political marketing, business models, marketing research, and strategic management. With an experience of 19 years, he has acted as a resource person in more than 35 faculty development programs and organized 8 national, international conferences and workshops of repute. To his credit, he has published 18 case studies and 50 research papers. Also, he has received Research Appreciation Award from Honorable Minister of Human Resource Development, Government of India. So, sir, it's a privilege to have you on board with us today. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Furthermore, we have with us Mr. Lalit K. Bhardwaj, Assistant Professor, Mittal School of Business, Lovely Professional University. A dynamic professional with an experience of more than 7 years as an academician. Also, he has an experience of 30 years in mutual funds and banking with ICICI Bank, Chief Manager at Reliance Capital AMC Limited, Regional Product Manager in HDFC Bank, and numerous other experiences in industrial and professional levels. So, sir, thank you so much for giving us your valuable time today.
Thank you, ma'am.
Additionally, I would like to welcome our admission expert, Mr. Pankaj Vij, Assistant Director, Head, Department of Tie-Ups, Division of Admissions, Lovely Professional University. With a master's degree in management, he has a keen interest in the area of training and development. He is having more than 20 years of experience in multiple domains, including teaching, training, and operations, and he has occupied strategic positions in multiple organizations of repute. And attendees today, he'll give you an insight of eligibility, fee, and scholarship, which I'm sure will make you save a lot of money. And in addition to that, he'll also be sharing the infrastructure part of the university. So, sir, thank you so much for joining us today. So with this, we'll begin our today's webinar. I welcome you all once again to the webinar and looking forward for a great interactive session. So over to you, sir, for the content of the day.
I hope my screen is visible to all, and some candles, red and green candles should be there, right?
Yeah, it's visible, Lalit.
Okay, so quickly, I am using a free online software for studying the stock price or the stock price movements. And if you see on my screen, there are multiple red and green candles, right? Right now, the candles which you are able to see representing the price movement of Nifty. Nifty is a benchmark which comprises 50 largest companies from India. So including HDFC Bank, Reliance Industry, TCS, Infosys, Mahindra and Mahindra. The 50 largest companies put together in a bucket comprises Nifty 50. So each candle here is reflecting the price movement on a particular day, right? So here if you see it is D, right? And on this free software, we can change the time frames as well. So those who want to trade on 1 day charts, they can keep it 1 day. Since we are talking about intraday, we will focus on either 30 minutes, 15 minutes, or maybe the 5-minute candles, right? So to move towards intraday, let me change the daily candles into say a 15-minute candles, right? So our screen has slightly changed. Let me expand the screen vertically. So earlier we were able to see that each candle was reflecting the price movement of one day. Now, since it is showing 15 minutes, so whatever price changes are happening into the Nifty, could be any stock as well, right? So every 15 minutes, either the stock market Nifty is going up or down is represented by the red or green candles. Red candle is showing that in these 15 minutes, the price of Nifty was somewhere here. It opened here, but by the time 15 minutes passed, Nifty was down. So every 15 minutes, some candle is formed. Green candles are showing that in very first minute out of these 15 minutes, it was down, but in next 15 minutes, it closed higher. So every 15 minutes, whatever price movements are happening into Nifty, they are reflected by these candles. Along with these candles, you must be able to see there are some shadows either at the bottom of the candle or at the top of the candles, right? So the shadows are telling us that in these 15 minutes, what was the lowest level and what was the highest level. The candle, the wider area shows where the price started and where it closed. Within that 15 minutes, price could have gone higher, price could have gone lower. But the opening and closing in green candles, opening and closing shows the candle area only. Now, since we are talking about intraday, so what is the intraday trade? Intraday trade refers to that during the day somebody is taking a trade, either buying or selling, but that trade must be closed during the day only. We are not carrying forward our position to the next day. So if I am buying Nifty, or maybe there is another index, Bank Nifty, or maybe any stocks, I am buying and doing the selling the same day. I'm not taking my position to the next day for selling. There are other kind of trades as well into the intraday, that is called selling or short selling, where the trade starts from sell, then later on we will buy it. So quickly, let me tell you how this intraday trade can be done on Nifty entire market. See, let me tell you one thing. I'm talking about index, two indexes here. One is the Nifty and another is the Bank Nifty index, which comprises 12 largest banks of India, whether public sector or the private sector banks. Why I'm not discussing much about stocks today? Because stocks are very risky, very volatile compared to the index, because index shows us the collective movement of the 50 stocks. So doing the intraday trade into an index is quite safe and rewarding compared to doing an intraday into a stock. So let's start with a safety. Okay, as we will get the skills of trading into index, we can gradually graduate towards trading into stocks as well. So how it is done in intraday? There are multiple techniques, multiple ways to do the intraday trade for making money, and there are rules as well. While doing the technical analysis, we have to follow the rules for the trade. So let me tell you the technique which can be utilized for an intraday trade for Nifty. What we have to do is that every day the stock market opens at 9:15 a.m. and since we are looking at 15-minute candle, that means moment at 9:15 a.m. Nifty will open. The first candle would be completed at 9:30 a.m. Right? So let's try to see on some specific days of Nifty. So let me look at the candles of some previous days. So let's move back just a minute. Let me find out some trade, then I will explain it. So these all candles are showing us the historical data. We can go as much back as possible because all the data is available on these free softwares. Okay, so here if you see, if I keep my cursor on these candles at the bottom, you see there is a dotted white line vertically and horizontally. At the bottom of this vertical line, you will be able to see what is the date at the bottom, right? So it is showing 15th of July, and then next, this is also 15th of July. As I move to the next candle, it is showing 18th of July. So for doing the intraday trade, the technique which I am telling you, earlier we are able to find out a trade better it would be. Earlier means as market opened at 9:15 a.m. So between 9:15 a.m. to around 11 a.m. in case some trade is there, we will jump onto that trade, and markets would close at around 3:30 p.m. So we can wait till 3:30 p.m. for our trade to give us some returns. So let's see what is happening here. So this is 18th of July. If I go to the previous candle, it was 15th of July. That means on 18th of July, this is the very first candle of 15 minutes. So this candle opened bottom of this green candle. This is the opening. Close was here, and there are shadows. Let me expand the candles. So if you see, there are shadows at the top and the bottom. So this is during that 15 minute, the price moved to this level. This was the highest price, and at the bottom there is a small shadow. This was the lowest price. But the price opened here for Nifty and it closed here. So what we need to do, we have to wait for first 15 minutes, and we need to identify what was the highest level and what is the lowest level of the very first candle, and we need to mark that. So how to mark? On this free software on left hand side, there is a toolbox, and here I can click on the trend lines. So since it is appearing as a blue, that means lines are selected. So let me mark a line here just to identify this was the top, and let me mark another line to mark that this is the bottom. Okay, so these two red lines are used only to mark the top and the bottom of this candle. So we have to wait at least for next 7 to 8 candles. Okay, so each candle is reflecting 15 minutes price movement. We have to wait for next 7 to 8 candles. That means around 11, 11:15, 11:30 a.m. So the wait should be there for what? Wait is to be done to see if there would be any candle form which will break this high or this low, right? So here if you see, this green candle is breaking on the higher side from the high of the very first candle of 18th July. So what we need to do, so this candle is formed again. If you look at the bottom, this candle is formed at around, so it was, okay, the time is not coming up correctly, so this was at 9:15. Okay, probably there is some issue. Earlier the time was correct, but first 7 to 8 candles. So if you count, this is the almost 6th candle from the beginning. Okay, so we have to wait till 8th candle. So before 8th candle, this 6th candle has given a breakout on the higher side. What we need to do, I will buy Nifty. Where I need to buy? I have to buy at the close. That means when this candle is over, at the end of 15 minutes, I will buy. What is the level of Nifty here? If you look at the horizontal line on the right hand side, here the levels of Nifty are being shown. So this level is somewhere around 16,211, right? Another important thing on this chart that we need to apply is there is an indicator called relative strength index. Okay, so here if you see where my cursor is revolving, click on the indicators, and in this search box simply type RSI, which is relative strength index. Click on it and close the search box. At the bottom, if you see, this blue line is the relative strength index. Let me squeeze it a little bit. Okay, so this blue line is the relative strength index, and this yellow line is showing the average of last 14 days. This is the average line. So our focus should be on this blue line of relative strength index, right? So as breakout came on this candle, I will buy the Nifty because our target was, in case any candle, next 7 or 8 candle gives a breakout above the highest level of the very first candle, we will buy. So here I will buy, and the buying level will be around 16,200 in 11, right? The buying decision should also be supported by that this RSI line should be above 50. So here if you see, there is a level 40 and 60, right? And in between here it is 50. So this RSI line is trading above this 50 level. It is quite high. So RSI above 15, and the initial 8 candles, any candle is giving us a breakout, we will buy Nifty. So we have to wait till a end. And what should be our target? Our target should be that at least 50 points Nifty should increase from here. So around 16,212. If we add approximately 50 points, our target to exit would be 16,260, 16,262. So let's see as we move further what happened to Nifty. So every 15-minute candle is showing green or red. Okay, let me squeeze the chart a little bit. And still, if you see, we started the day 18th July, and at the bottom you see still it's 18th July, 18th July, and approximately you see, in case we reach at this candle, this level is 16,270. We made an entry here, 16,212. So 212 plus 50 points, or maybe 60 points, 260. Here it is 280. So our target is met. We will exit, right? So what we have done, very first candle of the day of 15 minutes, initial 8 candles, any candle giving us a breakout, we will buy. What is our target? We want to sell 50 points higher or more. Okay, so we waited for so many 15-minute candles. So market closed at 3:30 p.m. So before 3:30, around 3 p.m., around 2:30, maybe around 2, these levels can come as early as even 15-20 minutes, next 2-3 candles. Sometimes we have to wait slightly long. So the trade was initiated here, we are exiting here, and 50 points are added, and we will exit. So in intraday, we focus on the small profits. But important thing is there, this kind of trade on Nifty would be available only once during the day, because we are focusing on first candle, then the next 7 or 8 candles. Any candle giving a breakout above the top of very first candle, we will initiate a trade, provided the RSI line should be above 50. So here RSI line was above 50, breakout is happening, we initiated the trade, we are waiting for at least 50 points addition from our buying level that we get, and we will exit out of this trade with some profits. So I hope this point would be clear. Now let me show you another trade of opposite side. So here the trade was buying, and typically what we understand that in stock market, buy low, sell higher, we will make the profits. What kind of trades can be made in case Nifty is falling? And probably all of us understand, in case markets are falling, we are suffering the loss. But even in falling markets, we can make money with similar strategy. So let me take you a little bit back, and let me show you the reverse trade. So this first trade was buying and selling higher. Now I will initiate a trade from selling and then buying lower and making money. So let me tell you how that would be done. So let's see, somewhere around, okay, so this is 30th June. 30th June, this is, I think, 1st of July. So here if you see, okay, right now my cursor is on a candle of 30th June. If I move to the very next candle, this is showing 1st of July. Okay, look at the vertical dotted line. Here my cursor is, and it is showing the first candle of 1st July. Okay, so first candle of course would be 9:15 to 9:30. So let me mark very first candle, its top and its bottom. Okay, so again I will use the trend line. So this is the first candle of 1st July, and let me mark it. This is the top, and somewhere here is the bottom of the very first candle. Okay, now I am telling you the opposite trade. Opposite trade means in case a candle breaks lower, okay, from the lowest point of this candle. Earlier we took the trade when the highest point was broken by the initial 7-8 candles. Okay, here if you see the very next candle is breaking lower than the lowest point of the very first candle. So in the second candle we will initiate the trade. Where the trade should be initiated at the close of the candle. In previous example, when the breakout came, when that 15-minute candle was over, we initiated a trade. So here now the first 15-minute lowest point is broken, candle is closing here, right? We will initiate a trade. But what would be the trade? Since we are breaking on lower side, the trade would be initiated from sell. So we will sell Nifty, right? We are selling something. How we will make profit? If we are selling at a particular level, this level is, if you look at the right hand side, this level is around 15,638, 15,640. In case Nifty will fall, we will make profit. Okay, since we are talking about Nifty, typically Nifty, the target should be at least 50-point movement either on upside or on downside, right? So from this point, in case I'm selling Nifty, I will make money in case Nifty will fall further 50 points from current level. So current level is 15,640. So let's see second candle, and if you see third candle close somewhere at around 15,555. So from 15,640 level to almost 15,550. So it's more than 50 points. So I will buy the Nifty here because the trade was initiated from sell. So I sold the Nifty at this level and my buying level would be lower. So if my buying price is low and selling price is high, even in a falling market, I'm making money. So probably it took almost, just 15 and 15, 30 minutes to make a reasonably good profit on this trade of Nifty. So this was from the sell side on Nifty. Let me tell you, the question which might be coming in your mind is that we are initiating a trade either of buying or selling. What if instead of Nifty going down, it started to go up, right? So in case the trade started to reverse in opposite side, we use a stop loss. So as I was telling that in Nifty, our target is 50 points movement either on upside or downside. So in case we are interested to make 50 points gain, we have to keep a stop loss of half of that, that is 25 points. That means in case I initiated a trade on this second candle because it is breaking below the lowest point of first candle. So in case I'm selling here, expecting it would further go down, but in case it would have started to go higher, I would have exited from my selling level in case Nifty would have gone 25 points higher. So in case I sold Nifty somewhere at around 15,640, right, just deduct 25 points. In case it would have gone higher, I would have exited out of that trade, but it didn't happen. As per the setup, Nifty actually went down beyond 50 points. I will book the profit and exit. Now let me show you another trade. I think time constraint is there, but let me take another 8 or 10 minutes quickly to show you another index which is called Bank Nifty, right? So this was Nifty. Now let me take a trade on another index, Bank Nifty. So we click here in the search box. I will type Bank Nifty, and here it is. Okay, again we will focus on the 15-minute candles, right? And let me look at some. Okay, I think recently somewhere around 20th or maybe July, there was some breakout on 15-minute candles. Just a minute. Let's move further to the current days. Okay, I think this is 18th and okay, this is 15th of July. Right now my cursor is on the 15th July. The next day, Saturday, Sundays are off. So of course, 18th July is the next day. So if you see, this is the very first candle of 18th July, right? So we have to mark the top and the bottom of the very first candle, right? So again, quickly, let me mark. This is the highest level and this is the lowest level, right? So trade could be in either of the side. It depends on that next 6, 7, 8 candles in which direction the breakout is happening. So this was the very first candle of that day, 9:15 a.m. And if you wait for next 7, 8 candles, here if you see this candle is giving a breakout on the higher side. So another thing we have to see where is the level of RSI. So again, RSI is trading. If you see here, it is also showing RSI at exactly 63. So our objective is buying trade should be taken when RSI is above 50 and sell trade should be taken when RSI is below 50. So here first candle breakout has come, RSI above 50, we will buy at the close of this candle. So what is the level of Nifty? Sorry, Bank Nifty 34,970. Okay, since level of Bank Nifty is around 35,000, our target is to get at least 150 points from the current levels, and the stop loss would be half of that, that is 75 points. Like in Nifty, we were interested to add 50 points, stop loss was 25 points. Here we want to make at least 150 points and stop loss half of that, 75 points. So Bank Nifty very first candle breakout came somewhere in the 7th or 8th candle. Here I will buy Bank Nifty. What is the level? 34,970. Okay, so if we add 150 points into it, our target would be met. So 34,970 and another 150 points, it would be around 35,025 something. Okay, so if we see right now we are in 18th July. Okay, what happened after our buying? First 15 minutes it was there only, but then it started to do well. And somewhere at around here, if you see, it's okay. Time is not that correct, but before the closure of the market in 18th July only, the level of Bank Nifty has reached 35,348. Our buying was where 34,970 levels. From 34,970 levels, we reached around 35,346. Not only 150 point, we have made more than 300 points. So lot of money was made during this day. What would be our stop loss? So in case we bought here at 34,970, just calculate in mind that in case it will go 75 point lower from our buying point, we would exit. Okay, but after buying, it didn't touch 70 point lower, rather it kept on moving higher and higher, and we added almost 300 points, and that is a lot of money during intraday. I hope this trade is also clear. So important thing is only look at the very first 15 minutes candle of either Bank Nifty or Nifty. Secondly, apply the indicator RSI, and when we are initiating a buy trade, RSI should be above 50. And in case we have to sell something, RSI should be below 50. So in case I can take another 5 or 6 minutes, let me try to show you a sell trade as well on Bank Nifty. So this was the buy trade. So just quickly, I think somewhere in the beginning of July, there was a very interesting sell trade as well on Bank Nifty. Just stay there and let me take you through that trade as well. Okay, so this was 30th of June, and I'm talking about, I think, in the beginning of the month, that is either 1st or 2nd July. So, okay, this right now my cursor is on 30th June, and very next day, this is 1st of July. Okay, so very first 15 minutes candle of 1st July. Okay, so quickly again, what we have to do, mark the top, mark the bottom, and just wait next 7 to 8 candles. Okay, so here if you see, almost in the 5th candle, the breakout has come. Okay, so okay, this is again showing a buy signal, not a sell signal, right? It's again a buy signal. So I was thinking the beginning of the month there was sell, but again if you see in next 5th candle, breakout has come. And what is our target in Bank Nifty? At least adding 150 points from our buying level. So our buying level is around 33,290, right? And in case we waited for next 2, 3, 4 hours, you see where Bank Nifty went, 33,740. Sorry, this is 4th July. We are talking about 1st July. So on 1st July, I think at this level, we are at 33,400 level, 477. Our buying was 33,200. So almost 150 points gain would be there. Here we are almost at 33,530 points, right? So see, it's a very simple technique. Technical analysis has different ways to do the analysis. This is only one of that, right? And we have initiated these kind of practices. There is no lecture, there are no presentations. We are teaching these kind of subjects purely on the softwares, and the trades are shown live to the students, and they are practicing that. And lot many students, they are making a lot of money as well. So these were some glimpses of making money through technical analysis using some free online charts, like this is available on the tradingview.com. So I think that's it as for the time limits. And in case there are some questions, I'm ready to answer.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much
Okay,
for
another
intensifying.
important thing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just want to add one point. Since
Of course.
Bank Nifty and Nifty, we can initiate trade through the derivatives only. Okay, so we have to buy either the options or the futures of Nifty, or we have to sell the options or futures of Nifty. So understanding derivatives is also important thing, which we focus a lot here as well. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for intensifying and magnifying the knowledge of our attendees. And after this, our attendees will be proficient in how to be how to trade in the stock market, and will sparkle with this gained expertise. So thank you so much, sir. And so yes, we have few queries from our attendees. So Rajesh sir, would you like to add something to this before we take up the queries, or shall we go for the queries?
So you can take up the queries first.
All right, sir. Okay, sir. So, so there is a query from Amit Ray. He wants to know that what percentage of stop loss should be put in intraday.
See, I was telling you that in case we were taking a trade in Bank Nifty, okay, it's not percentage. We have fixed the points. The ratio is 1:2. In case I'm doing a buy at this candle's breakout, here, of course, if we see the RSI is below 50, of course, trade should not be taken. But in case somebody should have taken a trade, the target is to add at least 150 points here, right? And the stop loss is at 75 points on the lower. So we can lose 75 points, but reward is double of that, 150 points. So it's 1:2 ratio, right? So you can say in case you are targeting a 10% gain, you should be ready to lose at least 5% as well. So loss is low and probability of making money is higher in such trades. So that is why I was telling that the target should be at least 150 points from our buying level on the higher side, But in case instead of going higher, Bank Nifty started to move lower. In case from our buying point, Nifty went down 75 points, exit. So cut your losses with lower loss. But in case it is trending upward, keep on targeting at least 150 points. That is double of your stop loss. So that ratio is 1:2. Your rewards will be higher, your losses probability would always be lower.
Thank you so much, sir. So we'll take up another query from Ajit Kumar Bhardwaj. He wants to know that how he can adjust the target price, like in the short thing, market reverse just after the next candle.
Okay, so in case after you're buying, the very next candle here, if you see here only, this was the green candle which has given a breakout from the highest level of the very first candle. But very next candle is giving a reverse trade. Reverse trade means it's not moving up, it is going down. But see what I was telling you, in Bank Nifty, our target is to get 150 points on the higher side, and where we would cut our loss from our buying level. That is, this level is 33,290. In case Nifty would go down by 75 points, that is around 33,215 or 220 levels, right? But here, if you see next moment, next 15 minutes, market went down. But where is Nifty? 33,247. So from our buying level, just deduct 75 points. In case the candle closes, okay, sometimes what happened, candle went down, but then it recovered. If close comes 75 points lower from our buying point, then only you have to exit from Bank Nifty. Else, don't exit, stay into the trade. So somebody in case afraid, just looking at that Bank Nifty from my buying level going down, let me exit. Don't exit until your stop loss or that 33,222.25 level is not broken. This candle is not breaking that level. Okay, I'm talking about break by a candle, not by the tick. The candle should go 75 point lower from your buying point. In case it is closing 75 point lower, only then exit. Else, stay into the trade. So in case you stayed into the trade, right, what happens after almost 2 or 3 hours during the same day, your targets were met on 1st of July. So almost 33,470 from your buying level of 33,280. So 150 point, 200 point you can make during the day only, even slightly high. This is also first. This is also 1st of July. This is the 4th of July. So the last candle has gone to around 33,600 levels. So in case Nifty is trending, Bank Nifty is trending, even you can trail your stop loss. Trail means in case Nifty has gone up, bring your stop loss to higher levels as well. Okay, so that in case it started to reverse, you will exit even in profits.
Thank you so much, sir. So, sir, we'll take up last but not the least question. So the attendees wants to know that will they gain this expertise in the classes, like in which semester or in which year they'll get to learn about this trading as a in curriculum? Is it there in the curriculum about trading, sir?
Yes, the entire course is dedicated to trading. It's not some specific units. There is a dedicated course. Name is Investment Lab. So it's not a like books or the presentation. Students would come to the class using their laptops from very first day. They will start using these practicals. They have to apply these practicals on whatever demat account they have opened. They will be given some amount, and then they have to take the trade, real life trade in real time markets.
Thank you so much, sir, for resolving all the queries of our attendees. And Dr. Rajesh Verma, would you like to add something to this, or shall we move on to our admission nominee?
If you can give me some rights briefly, I would like to talk about school.
All right, sir.
Can I-
Please give me a moment.
My screen is visible.
It is visible.
Right. So I'll not take much time. I'll just briefly take you through this presentation next 5 to 7 minutes. And I think what Lalit just explained, I'm sure it's not easy to make money, but then if we take calculated decisions and we understand how it is done, that's where the real experience starts. And as Lalit also said, at LPU, probably it is not a theory class where we teach this to all the students, but it's an investment lab where in honors program, the university invests and give money to the students, whereas in all other cases, it can be virtual money, but then the student does it hands-on, right? So that's the practical approach, and that's what actually is the major highlight of Mithil School of Business. So I'll just quickly talk about it in a few slides, and then we can go on to the admission nominee, right? So established in 2001, so more than 2 decades of experience in quality education. Most recently, last week, NRIF ranking, which is one of the most trustworthy rankings in India because it is given by Ministry of Education, Government of India. We have been ranked 34th in the country, and that's what actually should give you a confidence of sorry, just a minute. That should give you the confidence on what the school is all about. And then in terms of international accreditation and rankings, we have been ranked second in business and economics subject by Times Higher Education. Similarly, Outlook iCare has ranked us in #1 in Punjab, and we were amongst the first 10 institutions in India which were accredited by ACBSP USA, which itself is a confidence that our curriculum matches with the standards of the curriculum in US. We offer 25 different programs at UG, PG, and PhD level, more than 4,500 students from all states of the country. And to add on to the diversity, we have 346 international students from 29 different countries. 40% of our faculty are with industry experience, like you just saw Lalit, who has been working in the industry for quite a long period and then has been now bringing in that expertise from the industry to the classes. So 40% of the industry experienced faculty comes to the class, and 66% faculty members are PhD. So now Mithil School of Business, we have 3 domain, management, commerce, and economics. And in management, we would have programs like PhD, MBA, I'm talking about postgraduate programs, and different MBA programs in the area which you want to specialize in. Right. Similarly, in commerce, we have PhD and MCom, and in economics, we have PhD and MSc Honors Economics. Talking about undergraduate programs, again, BBA, BBA Honors, BBA Financial Markets. Look at the most current discussions which are happening in the industries on blockchain, and we have a program on BBA blockchain also. Plus then we have programs on 2+2 international transfer, right? So you can study here and then go abroad. Similarly, in commerce also we have a lot of programs. Now, why these number of programs? Because every student does not fit into one kind of education requirement, right? So if somebody wants to do and specialize in blockchain, why should he be studying financial markets, right? Why should he be studying normal BBA, right? So he is very clear he wants to make a career in blockchain. So then he should be entering a blockchain program, right? Similarly, in economics, BSc Honors Economics is at undergraduate level. Talking about few core strengths of the school, there is a lot of collaboration which we do with the industry, because ultimately, as we say in medical colleges, hospital is attached to the college, right? But in case of MBA programs or commerce programs, industry is our practical lab. So we have a lot of tie-ups where KPMG, Safe Educate, SHRM, they have collaborated with us. Even the faculty members, industry people come and teach in the class, right? So there are collaborated programs also, there are collaborated certifications also, but there is a lot of collaboration with the industry so that we are always relevant. We know what is happening in the industry and that we bring into the class. Diversity I talked about. In your class, you might have students from 10 different countries, and that discussion brings in the understanding of different cultures. We have been focusing a lot on blended learning. You can ask your faculty mentor, and in place of the regular assignment, you can do a online certification from best of the universities through NPTEL or Coursera or Udemy, and that enriches your resume when you are actually presenting yourself in front of the employer. And then a lot of alumni interactions coming all from all over the world. If you can read it out, you will find people coming from different parts of the country, because they have been now working in different parts of the country. They had been our students from different countries, so when they go back, they would like to talk to the juniors and enrich them with their experiences. A lot of discussions on uncertain time through simulations, case studies, scenarios, role plays, experiential activities, and every teaching is hands-on. You just saw it, right? The way he was talking to you here using a screen, it is only that way it has been. Most of the classes are delivered in our school, right? And then if it is not feasible through laptops or screens, it is actually, we provide a lot of opportunities to go into the field. A lot of companies give up their problems, and students work on those problems with the companies and provide them solutions. Industry people regularly keep coming to our university for seminars and conferences, and you can see the number of people listed down there. And if not in seminars and conferences, they regularly visit the classrooms also. In last 1 year, we had 56 guest speakers coming, and you can look at the people: Turkey, US, right, social sector, then rural marketing, again, very popular social sector speaker, from United Kingdom, US, right, Australia, US, again US, right? So a lot of people keep coming, but that's not enough. But the students work on a lot of clubs and student organizations, because that's what is the major learning when they go in and plan things on their own. But even all these clubs which you see here, finance club, marketing club, they compete with each other, and at the end of the term, we declare who is the winner, which club has done the best, right, based upon the events they have participated, the wins, the kind of reports they have prepared. All that is being done. Then these clubs keep on organizing a lot of activities, right? We promoted COVID vaccination. We go to the rural areas and teach students there. A lot of activities at your own place, plantation drives, peace running drive, right, marathon race. A lot of activities keep on happening. Then entrepreneurial opportunities. If somebody doesn't want to actually go in for corporate jobs, you can start a business on the campus if you have an idea. And you can look at these two students who have already started their venture, but more than 50 plus ventures have already been started on the campus. But another thing which most of us would like to is to make a wonderful career. And I can say it with full confidence that anybody who wants a job and is ready to work hard for that would get a placement from the campus at LPU. And you can see the kind of companies mentioned here. These are just a few representative companies, but I'm giving you that confidence that anybody who is ready to prepare himself would definitely get a campus placement. So thank you very much. I just made it a little brief so that you get an exposure that from which school the faculty who was talking upon intraday is coming from. And it's not about only intraday trading, but most of the things which would be taught in Mittal School of Business would be hands-on, right? So thank you very much. I think Ruby, now you can go on to the next phase. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your vision with our attendees and giving them a glimpse to the school, what they will come here and witness over here. So thank you so much, sir, for this. And now, attendees, if you want to take the admission, if you want to learn, you have seen our mentorship. So if you want to learn about all those things, you want to gain the expertise from them, so you need to take admission. And for that, how to route to the admission, how to route towards the website, how you can approach us for the admissions. We have our admission expert, Mr. Pankaj Vij, with us. So, sir, over to you.
Right. I hope I'm audible and my screen is visible to all.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Great, great. So I've been entrusted with the task of telling something about the infrastructure of Lovely University, Lovely Professional University, and moreover, I'm going to guide the students when it comes to the website, how to explore the website. So allow me to start with my presentation, and the presentation would give you an insight into the campus life of the university. But to begin with, I would like to start on a very, very positive note that the year was 2020 when the Tokyo Olympics had to happen, but they happened in 2021 rather. But it's a great news, and I feel elated in sharing this news with all the attendees over here that some of our brave hearts made it to the highest pinnacle. It is to the Tokyo Olympics, and you name the likes of Bajrang Punia, Neeraj Chopra, Manpreet Singh, the captain of the Indian hockey team, and quite a few others. They were a part of this contingent, and they brought laurels to the country, and they are our students. So these people, these brave hearts, are students of Lovely Professional University. So we as a university are not only known for creating the academicians, researchers, but we are also known for, now we are known for creating sports people of repute worldwide. On that note, I like to start what to expect when you come to the campus. This is what you can expect when you come to the campus. For example, the year was 2019, and we hosted the 106th edition of the Indian Science Congress, which was inaugurated by none other than the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji. We have had quite a few other intellects coming to the university, and like what you're seeing over here on your screen is His Holiness the Dalai Lama, who was here in the campus a few years ago giving away degrees in one of the convocation ceremonies. Similarly, two former presidents of India and Afghanistan sharing the same stage, and yet another convocation ceremony giving away degrees to the students. Followed by that, we had the Finance Minister of India, the late Finance Minister of India, Shri Arun Jaitley ji, who came to the university a few years ago, and he inaugurated a startup school. And not only politicians, but spiritual gurus who also throng the campus. They come to the campus. Gauhar Gopal Das is not a name which is new to anybody. So he also was in the campus and giving live sermons to the students, to the parents, to the teachers. These are the kind of intellects that we call to the campus and give students the kind of exposure they should have. Followed by that, people from the entertainment world, the real heroes, who are the real higher life heroes of our young generation, they also come to the campus, not only to sing and dance, but also to interact with the students, sharing their life experiences with our students. MS Dhoni is yet another cricketer who is known in the world of cricket and in the world of sports. He was here in LPU sometime back, interacting with the students as well. So this is the kind of campus exposure that you can expect when you come to the university. Infrastructure is a very, very important part of academics. And let me take you into the infrastructure of the university, a sneak peek into the infrastructure of the university. What you're seeing right now over here is a marvel of a building, 14 blocks joined back to back, housing the central library of the university and quite a few other departments. Auditorium, it's a 2,500 capacity auditorium that we have got, which houses the cultural and the other events of the university. At the heart of the campus, it's a mammoth 600-acre campus, and at the heart of the campus we have got a mall, and this mall is the heart of the university. Let me take you inside the mall. That's the interior of the mall, the Providence stores where students can purchase their stuff. This is the library. This is the kind of libraries that we have got. That's the central library, and every department has its own library, and these libraries are all automated libraries. Moving forward, recreational facilities are very important in the university, and we have got quite a few other recreational facilities within the 600-acre campus that we have got. A bowling alley is no exception to it. If you're a health freak, which you should be, then we have got a fully equipped gymnasium. We've got fully equipped gymnasiums where students can work out and take care of their body. God forbid any student falls ill, but if at all some student falls ill, we are ready. We've got a university hospital within the university. It's got medical doctor staff, resident medical doctor staff, and even a dental chair to the disposal of the students. It's a 25-bedder hospital that we have got. Moving on, talking about sports. Now we are known for our sporting facilities as well. And what you're seeing on your screen is the top view or the aerial view of the indoor sporting complex that we have got. Let us go inside. We've got all season Olympic sized swimming pool. You name a court, you get it. Badminton, volleyball, basketball, any court. We have got every sort of court game within this infrastructure, even a shooting range. That's a panoramic view of the university itself, a night vision of the university. So that's about the infrastructure of the university. Let me take you to the university website. And the university website, in order to the attendees, especially the students who want to know about the eligibilities, the fee structures, the scholarships, and such informations, they can get all the information in a single go at lpu.in. lpu.in is the official website of LPU. And if you want to search a program and want to search the details of the program, then you need to go to admissions. In admissions at lpu.in, you go to admissions. In admissions, say for example, I want to search a program called MBA. Then after graduation, anybody wanting to search a program after 12th, then this is the place to go. Somebody wants to search a program after graduation, this is the place to go. After post-graduation, after 10th, or after diploma or certificate programs, this is the place to go. So I want to search MBA. Obviously, MBA is a postgraduate program, so I'll go after graduation. I'll go to after graduation. I click it over here. It takes me to the next page. The next page gives me the array of disciplines that we are offering in the postgraduate level LPU. For example, I want to go to MBA. I want to go to management. I have to go to management. I click management, and it takes me to the next page where it shows me all the MBA programs that we are running, like MBA tourism, some honors programs. So these are the programs that we are offering under MBA. I want to know precisely about MBA, so I click MBA. I go to MBA, and I just scroll down a little bit, and it gives me the eligibility of the program. So this is the eligibility of the program. The eligibility of the program says pass with 55% mark aggregate in bachelor, any discipline or equivalent, subject to qualifying LPNS or national level test, CAT, SAT, so on and so forth, followed by an interview. So a student can be a graduate in any discipline and should have 55% marks in graduation, and should have appeared for our test, which is called as LPNS. So student should appear for this test or a national level test followed by an interview. So that's the eligibility criteria of the program. We want to know the fee structure. You go to this tab. I click it over here, and it takes me to the fee structure of the program. The fee structure of the program is 1,90,000 per semester, and there are a lot of scopes that we are offering on it. For example, somebody's got 80 to 89.99% marks in 12th, or 70 to 79.99 in graduation, or a student is amongst the category 3 of our LPNest exam. There's a 28% scholarship. Fee goes down to 1,30,800. Somebody's got 90 to 94.99 in 12th, or 80 to 89.99 in graduation, or is amongst the category 2 of our LPNest exam. It's one and the same thing. There's a 38% scholarship. Fee goes down to 1,17,800. Similarly, the top scholarship in this cadre, 95 or above in 12th, 90 or above in graduation, or category 1 of our LPNest exam, there's a 48% scholarship which is on offer for the student. It's worth mentioning over here, students, that the scholarship once administered to the to a candidate remains the same way throughout the course of the program for these particular scholarships. There are some other scholarships that we are offering. You want to know about them, you go to scholarships, you click it over here, And we have known about the scholarships on the basis of previous 2 qualifications, LP Nest. There's scholarships on the basis of national level tests as well. If you're qualified CAT, MAT, SAT with the good percentile or ranks, then you're in for a scholarship on the basis of this as well. Some other scholarships which are more of financial aids and grants, scholarships on the basis of startups, entrepreneurship. Somebody's done really well in some in the world of business or entrepreneurship, then we have got scholarships for that as well. Similarly, somebody is from a humble economic background, we have got financial aids for need-based students. We have got financial aids for defense people, means like if somebody's parents are working with the defense departments, then there are scholarships for such students as well. They get some fee waivers. And God forbid somebody is a disabled student or is maybe a disability of being a blind student, so such students are in for fee waivers as well. So these are the gambit of scholarships that we are offering in the MBA program. You want to talk to our representatives, you want to know more about the various programs, then you can call us on 01824 517 000, or you can write to us on admissions@lpu.co.in, or you can visit us on www.lpu.in. So you can take a snapshot of this particular slide, and it will be helpful for you for contacting us in the future. So I guess that's all from my side. Back to you, Ruby.
Thank you so much, sir, for the detailed information about the admission part. And I believe the attendees must have gained all the information regarding their admission, how to approach the university. So thank you so much, sir. And with this, we'll conclude today's webinar. I thank you, attendees, for sparing time and participating in today's webinar. We appreciate you all for being here, and I believe your knowledge has been enriched by today's webinar. Also, I would like to express my appreciation to the experts for their valuable contribution towards today's webinar. Your years of experience, your years of research will definitely help the audience to choose the right path. So until next time, I, Ruby Gill, finally sign off the session. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.